bhavatu sahanau bhunaktu saha viryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhi. When you watch the behavior of a baby, it becomes obvious the baby seems to be secure, as long as it is not away from the mother, the caring, loving mother. Even physically, the person, the mother, needs to be around. In the awareness of the child, the mother has not left, is not outside the awareness of the child. The child is secure. Mother is in the kitchen, the child is in the living room. The child doesn't search for mother, doesn't seem to be alienated. So that means in its awareness, the mother is not away. The awareness of the mother makes the child insecure, frightened. Being a living organism, it has the survival instinct. It doesn't look at itself as someone who can take care of itself. The life of a human being starts with security, total security, before it is born. This is the start. It starts with security, being connected to the mother. Janani, the creator, the creatrix. Creator, feminine gender is creatrix. Janani. So that is the cause, the connected cause. And this connected cause was there very much in the child before it is born. Because it has a body of its own, it has a heart of its own. All these doctors, they feel the heartbeats of the child also before it is born. Whether it is okay or not. So there is a separate individual, still not separate. It is exactly what the Srishti is. The Jagat is like that. There it's physically connected. A separate individual, an individual within the individual. Once it's born, the connecting cord is snapped. An independent life starts. It's a very, an impossible start. It's an impossible start. Like in India, we have people who are unemployed and who have no hope. Whether he has a hope or not, others don't have any hope of his getting an employment, but he gets married. Because the excuse is, what will others say? What will others say? They are not worried about your marriage or not marriage. Simply when they meet each other, Indians have got a way of asking questions. They don't know what to ask. They will say, hey, how are you? So fine. How is your son? So he has finished his education and he is at home. Is he married? These questions, they don't know what to ask. If he says he is employed, they will ask what is his salary. And so here they don't ask because they have learnt that you are not supposed to ask this question and you are not supposed to answer also. Here they don't ask. But there they will ask. But they don't, when they ask, they don't mean anything. You have to ask a few questions, it is like weather is good today. Something you have to talk. Something you have to talk. What to talk? You can't tell all your tales. Only they have to, you have to ask something wherein there is nothing. There is nothing serious. Weather is very good. If today is good, not as bad, yesterday's weather was even very good. Today, something you have to say. The sun is hiding. Something. In fact, I used to wonder why they talk about weather. You also might have wondered. All the time they talk about weather. Nowadays you also learned how to talk about it. Have a good day, nice day. I got a chair there, and the chair, it gives you some leg massage or whatever it does. And then, suppose I switch off, bye, have a nice day. It was 11 o'clock in the night, 10 o'clock in the night. He says, have a good day, have a nice day. What is a nice day? These are all just like junk mail. No meaning. Something you talk which doesn't imply any personal life or answer you have to give. This is what the social manners, safe social, this kushala prashnam, we ask this. We have this all. It is like that person who doesn't have a job, is unemployed, not employable, this person gets married because what will others say? No harm. Marriage may bring some good luck. Or marriage, you see, that because the other person at least is employed and you can get along for some time until you get a job. The other person also is unemployed. And the father-in-law is not any big. And so, it is exact, at least they are adults. They can beg. And survive. The small little baby, how it will survive? It doesn't know a thing to survive. Only thing it knows, it can cry. Nothing else. It cannot walk, much less talk. It can only cry. That is the only language also it has got. Any pain it will cry, hunger it will cry, fear it will cry. For fear also cry. After becoming an adult, one may not cry. One will blabber. So one will say some noises because of fear. So, then we can understand this is a fear. There are different types of fear. So, this baby cannot survive. And it has to survive. Please understand this. This has got the secret of living. The greatest secret. To be unraveled. And therefore the child feels complete, secure, because of its total shraddha, trust in the person who cares for it. Mother, first. That's why we say Matru-Devo Bhava. Mother first. Connected is connected to Janani, the creator. For the child, mother is Ishvara, who is almighty, who is all-knowing, everything from the child's standpoint, innocent baby standpoint, by implication of total trust. Please understand me well. By implication, total trust means the person should not say, I don't know. Then he may commit mistakes. Then you have to be cautious. If he is not almighty, then he is incapable. So you can't totally trust. So you trust always selectively. Certain things you trust, certain things you don't trust. That's why, so everybody is limited in knowledge, in power. Total trust is not possible. But to be complete, feel secure for the child to survive, trust is given. And the trust being total, And the helplessness also a total. So total helplessness is neutralized by the child's capacity to trust totally. See the arrangement. You must just see this arrangement. This is how it is. The implication is the trusted person is almighty, is all-knowing, omniscient, omnipotent. If you want to have mouthful words. Omniscient, omnipotent. And this, I heard this a lot. So omniscient is omnipotent. Don't ask me why do you say omniscient? It's omniscient. O is there? Wherever O is there, that's it. Lorry. The lorry driver. College. I'm a college student. Meaning that I am all-knowing, he is all-knowing, mother is all-knowing, almighty. But as long as that all-knowing is in its awareness, within the scope of its awareness, even walls cannot separate that mother from the child's awareness. Distance does not separate. This is all truth, I'm telling you. This truth, it contains a very great secret. I will unravel that. Walls don't separate a child from its mother. That means distance. For a small child, even 10 feet is distance. 10 feet away, that is definitely distance. As long as the presence of mother is there in the awareness of the child is secure. The moment that presence is missing, the child will somehow manage to go, or if it cannot go, it will cry to get back the presence. If it can crawl, it will to the kitchen and see the mother, then it can come back. And that presence is only for a length of time. Like some of these TV screens. And in order to save the battery, I suppose, they automatically it goes off. And again you have to search for the icon where it is. If your eyes cannot find out what it is, then you can't. Like this, the human mind also loses the presence of the mother. And then this fear takes over. The insecurity takes over. That is instinctual, inborn. And that is common to any living organism. It is true with a plant, with a tree. With all these experiments, they have proved. They also have fear. If a fellow goes with a can of water The entire response of the tree is different. The plant is different. And suppose he goes with an axe in hand or hacksaw. So the whole response is entirely different. He's able to sense this fellow, this unpredictable fellow. Till yesterday he was pouring water and today comes with a hacksaw. And because it's afraid, it has fear, because it wants to survive. So too, the cows, so entering into a slaughterhouse, they all sense death. So they don't want to go. All friends who went never came back. Yadgatva na nivartante. Having gone, into which they never come back. They come back, each, there are, at least one piece of them, comes back in this fellow's hamburger between the buns. Never come back alive. That is called slaughterhouse. The cow senses won't go. They have a big rod that gives a shock to prod the cow to the place. You give a shock. You should get the rod from that fellow and give one to him. What they do? So much himsa. Himsa without thinking. It's just without thinking. Do you know Papa, where does it go to? That Papa goes to the actual user. But shared. One piece of the cow this fellow got. I won't say you got. I don't know. But this fellow got it. Whoever bought that hamburger, in between. What is there in between? A piece of dead cow. Not dead cow, slaughtered cow. The actual viewers should get it. Fear. It is afraid to go. Every human being also has fear. It's innate. The child is afraid because it has no wherewithal to survive. This is the truth. Now, with the mother around, it can handle. If there is a cockroach, runs to the mother. And the mother comes, along with the mother, the child will come. To the very thing of which it was afraid, it will come. Because mom is there. No problem. Mom screamed. Mom screamed. Then the child is confused. This is called unconscious. The violation of trust. There is no way of not violating. One thing or the other will cause violation. Erosion of trust. like every day, then he comes. He is Ishvara. This is only Ishvari. And he is Ishvara, he comes. He is nothing. Then slowly the child thinks these two together are Ishvara. This is Aradhana Ishvara. Together, together they make Ishvara. Wow! 50% Ishwari, 50% Ishvara. Certain things he is afraid. She says, don't be afraid, I will take care of it. No, she says that. And then what she is afraid of, he takes care of. But there are times when he calls. So if it is he ate like that creature, and it's some black widow, or so our usual ethical puji, spider, and the common spider. But he can't handle this eight-legged. So therefore he calls some security or somebody. Yeah, Aradhana, the gatekeeper, the one who is security, and the Nepali guy. You call him. In India this is all true. No, you call that. Here they will call firefighter. But there you call firefighter means you will come day after tomorrow. So so you call the security outside and he'll come and he'll take care of it. Now what about the trust? It's all small. Even inconsistency. Even behavior patterns of the parents. Morning one way, evening another way. Why evening other way? Different. Way of talking is different. Way of relating is different. And confusion. That's all unconscious. Screaming, fighting. And now gods are fighting. For the child, just remember yourself as a child. Just imagine what happens to the child. They are fighting. Why should the child be? A child is with you. With you it becomes complete. And therefore, so the one who is fighting is gods. Aradhana Ishvara. The left is fighting with the right. Hey, keep quiet. So they are fighting with each other. And when they are fighting with each other, this child will blame itself because this omniscient, omnipotent will not fight unless there is something wrong with me. The whole blame is taken by the child. It doesn't take place for one day. It is day after day after day after day after. How many days before 4.5 years? It's a big pile. It is given. Again it is given by whatever that has brought all these into being, by the same force whom we say Ishvara, intelligent, given that this child has to be saved from this panic, and therefore in order to avoid this panic, it cannot be avoided, given the innocence and given the requirement of the presence of the omniscient inside. The panic is covered. This avaranam is all Vedanta. Another level, I told you, we are talking 2 levels. Here also avaranam. It is avarana. The whole thing is hidden away. The more the person says that my mother was wonderful, but behavior is entirely different. Maybe mother was wonderful. But if the behavior is one of fear, one of insecurity, one of problems to oneself and to others, then one should know that there is a lot of load in the child, which is covered. And therefore it is not merely avaranam. Avriyate anena iti avaranam. Not only it is a cover, a veil of what is there, but also there is vikshepa. Vikshepa shakti. A power of creating. And therefore the child will cry, and afterwards to win the mother, it will smile. And the mother thinks that I have accomplished it. Didn't I tell you? You should not cry. This is how it has learned. Mother also has learned that way. Didn't I tell you I should not cry? The child doesn't want to cry. It cries, okay? People tell, don't cry. You need not say cry. But need not say don't cry. Somebody cries means there's a reason for it. Understand what it is. But the mother says, didn't I tell you? Then suddenly afterwards the child smiles. That means avarana. Smile is vikshepa. It's exactly what you do when somebody important comes to your house. You have a lot of things all cluttered. The drawing room. A lot of things are there, kandamunda. There are a lot of things. All these things, useless things, you don't know how to throw away. They are all there. Then what do? So you just put them all in one corner and put a sheet over that and then have some flower vases. You have learned. What did you learn in America? This is what you have learned. Flower vases. Some flower vases. Come. This is called vikshepa, and what is underneath is junk, avarana. So avarana is the sheet, and this one is vikshepa. This is what is called unconscious. There is no such thing as unconscious. It is you. There is no such thing. Another one is called unconscious. This you have to tide over. There is no unconscious. What we call unconscious is the child, the frozen child in time. It is there controlling your life all the time. Your emotional life, that's all life. Baki sab is nothing. Your emotional life is your life. What do you get out of this world? What you get out of your life is your emotional life, your disposition. And for which necessarily you have to keep the mother-like one present in your awareness. Janani, Janakaha, both are one and the same. That is why it is important, both mother and father should be invoked in that Ishvara. That's why our God is all married. Every God is married. You say Lakshmi means Narayana. Narayana means Lakshmi. He doesn't keep her separately. He keeps her here. And Shiva goes one better. And really Californian way, 50-50. And so this 50-50. 50-50. The Californian is 50-50 and when separation. But here inseparably one. Ardhanarishwaraha. The other half is made up of Parvati. There is no better half or simple half. Equal. Beautiful. Our gods are married because our problems are caused by both. And we have to resolve those problems, solve those problems. Resolve is better than solve. The resolution of this only through finding out a person who is both mother and father and who is almighty, who is all knowledge. I should know what does it take for a person to be all knowledge and almighty. What does it mean? And who is all pervasive. So completely pervasive, there is no wall. There is nothing to separate the presence of that Ishvara. Look what Vedanta has got to give you. For the humanity. This is a human problem. And therefore it's not only for us, it is not some belief, some faith. All's foolish. Doesn't stand any scrutiny for a minute. The presence. In fact, that kind of God has created more problems. Than giving any kind of security. All the believers are insecure. Therefore, they collect more people. So, one fellow is foolish. He has to collect a few more people because he is very insecure. And he collects a few more people. So like an alcoholic. An alcoholic, even in this culture, in India it is very, very prevalent. An alcoholic there, so he can't handle the presence of a sober person. Because the company of that fellow gives him a guilt. The presence of that fellow gives him a hell. Therefore, he begins to do missionary work. Really, missionary work. I don't say every missionary is an alcoholic. I say every alcoholic is a missionary in India. He does missionary work. He has to convert him. And come on, what is this? Are you in the 21st century? This is not 16th century. This is 21st century. Come on, have something. It's very cool, it's nothing. It's very nice. The whole system becomes better. And they talk like that. Have something, nothing will happen, come on. This fellow is afraid. He may go under the table. And that fellow can drink everybody under the table. And so, he is afraid. So, but he says, hey, there's nothing, this is nothing. This is nothing. Come on. I have given an advice to this fellow. I said, never take first time. Second time you can take. Never sip first time. Swamiji, I have already sipped, what can I do? From now on, next time, there is no hereafter first time. Old things are gone. Ring out the old. Now this is the first time, hereafter the first time. Don't touch it. Next time you will see. The immediate next time, no. Unless you take, this is first, you count it as first. Unless you take first, second will not come. Therefore, let me make it clear. Don't go away with the idea. Swamiji said only one time I should not. Next time, I didn't mean anything. So this is how teaching has to be done. You have to say, and you have to negate all other possibilities. Neti, neti. And therefore, every insecure fellow wants to convert everybody else. He is insecure and guilty. Because you are your beliefs. And your beliefs are ill-founded. They have no foundation. They cannot stand questions. People, when they question, he himself, once, before he got local anesthesia of thinking, that local anesthesia means with reference to God, religion and all that, there is local anesthesia. When that comes, numb. Nothing happened. The 30 Eribur the Ulaba. It's all local anesthesia. Brilliant otherwise. When it comes to religion, it's dumb. Because one asked questions, no answer, and therefore anesthesia. They have got a program like that. You should not ask questions. The mysteries of God. Why He created me? That's God's mystery. Then why He wants me there? That's mystery. All mystery. Then what is it you are talking? If everything is mystery, you are talking so much. That is our mystery. The presence has to be here. I told this story, often I tell this story. One missionary went to India, where else he will go? He wants to save the people. And the papal mandate is there. We planted the cross in Europe in the previous millennium, the first millennium. The second millennium, we planted the cross in North America, South America, and Africa. The third millennium, we are planting the cross in Asia. This was the message from the previous Pope when he visited India not far away, few years ago. And there are so many souls to harvest. Harvest. We are all to be harvested. First, I am the first person to harvest. Because I am talking. And the fellow went to India. He thought on his way he will go to some of these Southeast Asian countries and make a book of the cathedrals, illustrated book of cathedrals. And with a camera he went. It's a low budget. And he went to China, and he went to this huge cathedral in Peking. And he took pictures. As he was moving within the cathedral and admiring the great architecture, he saw a golden phone. golden phone, very big phone. He saw the phone, then he went to wanted to find out whether it is some kind of art or real phone. The priest was there. It's a real phone? Yes, sir. It's a real phone. Real phone? Yes. But can I call America here from here? You can't call, sir. This is a special phone. What special means what? This is meant only to talk to God. It's a hotline. You can talk to God? Sure. The faithful fellow wants to talk to God. He has been always looking up, and he didn't see. And now he is so, at least he can talk to God. And he said, so does it cost? Of course. How much? $10,000. $10,000? So this fellow, he didn't have anything. He came on an economy ticket. One-way ticket. One-way ticket. Because he is planning not to come back. So you have to convert. His aim is Tamil Nadu. He's going to Tamil Nadu. Okay. And he just, everything he went away. He didn't have the money. And he went to Shanghai. And there again there is an old cathedral. And there again this phone. All the churches have phone. This particular phone, all the cathedrals. Then this was there. Then he asked, what is this? This is a hotline to God? Yes. Oh. What does it cost? $10,000. Uniform. They are telling the truth. Then he went to Taiwan, went to Singapore, went to other countries, Indonesia. Everywhere, cathedrals he visited, and then the phone was there. And the phone was quoted, the phone call to God was $10,000. Then he came to Chennai. He took the flight to Chennai. He came to Chennai and got into this taxi and told taxi driver, please take me to Sentom. And there is a church, there's an old church. So take me there. And he said, on the way, if there is anything, please show me. I would like to see some things here. And it took him to Mylapore. The Sentom is Mylapore. And he took him to Mylapore, and then he showed him a temple there, Mylapore Kapalishwara temple, with all this decorated tank. It's all built around this pond. And he saw this, really it looks very beautiful. He said, what is this? It's a Hindu temple. Yes, Hindu temple. Ah, can I go inside? Yeah, you can go. He went inside, took all the pictures, and then he saw this telephone caught his eye. What? These Hindus also talk to God? This. Then he asked, he just went near this telephone and he checked, it looks the same. Then he asked the Kurkul. There was one fellow. He was there. Then he asked him, so what is this? Telephone, real telephone? Yes, sir. So what is not ordinary telephone? No. It is to speak to God. I can speak to God, sure, sir. What does it cost? 1 rupee, sir. 1 rupee? That fellows, they said $10,000. That is long distance call, sir. What is this one? This is local call, sir. That fellow gave up his plan to do missionary work. one missionary honest missionary. Therefore he gave up and began studying Vedanta. Because local, it is local. There is no distance. If there is distance, he becomes another uncle. Texas uncle. Another uncle. Another person. Mosquitoes will get him. He has to do all this now and then. Another person. So silly, foolish. But if it is Ishvara, we need to know a little bit more. That is the responsibility of a human being. Being self-aware, he will have fear, mortal fear. And therefore, he must have, if there is a Janaka and Janani, if there is a father, mother, if there is one Ishvara, and who is the total, who is all, who is the whole, then there is no distance between you and Ishvara except your ignorance. What is present, what is experienced by you every moment, can be away from you. I was traveling from Chennai to Delhi to go to Rishikesh. A man was sitting there in the economy. I am in one corner. This fellow is sitting in this middle seat. The flight is full. And this fellow has removed this handle up, he's raised it so that he can fit in. You can understand the size of the fellow. And I learned from him, he picked up a conversation with me, and I learned from him, he was from Australia. And then he of course understood me. He had met some Swamis, I suppose. And then he said, I want to know whether you know this Swami. Then he gave me an address. In his diary there was an address. He asked me, do you know this Swami? I read the address of the Swami. Swami Dayananda Saraswati. Purani Jhadi Rishikesh. He is going to Rishikesh to see me. So far away. You have to go to Delhi and afterwards you have to take a taxi and go there. Laga. By the time you reach there, 9 hours. And that's our long distance. So far away. Swami may be there in station, may not be there. You are going to Rishikesh. This fellow is asking me, do you know this person? Thank God I know the person. And so I know the person totally. And now, so he asked me, I didn't say anything. I said, yes, this is me. Oh, this is you? I am in a corner. And this fellow is almost sitting on part of it, is sitting upon me. And then he is experiencing me. I am experiencing this fellow and his weight also. And this fellow tells me, asks me a question. Experience is so dumb, I tell you. This experience doesn't mean anything. It denies you everything. The experience is duality. And it denies the truth. The experience is dumb. It doesn't reveal anything if you don't learn from it. The experiences can form the basis for your understanding. Understanding is entirely different. And therefore, look at here. It's very. Then when I said to him, I am that Swami Dayananda. Really? You are Dayananda? See how the world is small. So small. Yes, I know how the world is small. You did not tell me. I know how small it is. I know. Really? It's a small world. So what can deny me? Suppose, I said big suppose. Suppose all that is here, that Ishvara, is God. I don't use the word God because it's an abused word. Highly misunderstood word. Traded word. And bandied about without having any meaning, understanding anything about it. And in the name of God we commit atrocities. And therefore, I don't use it. I use Ishvara. Why? My hope is you don't understand anything. That is my hope. Or you understand, as we understand. My job is to make you see that. Therefore I use a Sanskrit word Ishvara. Good enough. And this Ishvara, suppose all that is here is Ishvara. What is Ishvara? Where is the distance? There is no distance. The distance is only in your awareness, not in reality. So my understanding of Ishvara, who is Ishvara, should be so thorough and complete, I cannot get away from the presence of Ishvara. The journey is complete. You are looking for the one in whom you can relax. You can feel secure, not feel. You are secure. That alienation doesn't exist. Before our birth, we were not alienated from our author, from the Creator, Janani. Then we got alienated. We had total trust for survival. Then later we discovered the person, trusted person, is a mortal. It's a limited person. Therefore we want to get back that person whom we had trusted totally, that person who is all knowledge and who is all pervasive, who would be never away from me. I'm always connected by understanding the reality of Ishvara. Where is Bhayam? At this level itself, Abhayam Pratishtam Vindate. At this level. And therefore we will see a few more things in this. So we have set ourselves nicely and we can nicely take off. Okay? Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Arihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Arihi Om